Hey guys, I'm John Barklow, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to stay warm on a whitetail stand. When you think about staying warm on a whitetail stand, it really comes down to two things. The first is fueling your body, fueling your metabolic engine, and then once you get to the stand, using clothing to trap that body heat within the system. This is going to start before you ever leave camp. So be it in the morning or the afternoon, you're going to want to fuel yourself with food and water, rev up your engine, and then head out into the field. Now, I've talked in other videos about dressing lightly as you walk to your stand. So you want to get to your stand preferably without sweating. But if you have a good technical clothing system and a solid base layer, it's going to move that moisture. But the more we can prevent sweating, the better off we're going to be once we climb on board the tree stand, because once you get up there, you're not going to be able to move around like you can, say, in the big game mountains where you can walk around the glassy knob or do push-ups. So you want to fuel your engine, you want to walk, you want to limit sweating. Once you get to the tree stand, you're going to want to climb up, or at the base, you choose, and you want to start to layer up. You want to put clothing on that's going to capture your body heat within this clothing system. And you want to be very stingy with this body heat because you're only going to be able to fuel yourself so much and also be successful in the whitetail woods. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use layers of WINDSTOPPER. That WINDSTOPPER is going to block the wind. So right now there's just a light breeze, but when you're standing in a tree stand, even a light breeze is going to strip body heat away. So we want to use WINDSTOPPER to block some of that wind. We want to use insulation, be it fleece or some type of lofted insulation, to trap your body heat within that system. And the more layers and baffles we can create within that clothing system to slow its escape, the more efficient we're going to be, the warmer we're going to be, the longer we're going to be able to stay on stand comfortably. Now, inevitably, the body heat is going to start to escape through a system. So once you're there, a couple hours in, now you need to start fueling your body. You need to start fueling your metabolic engine and revving your metabolism to create more heat that is then going to be trapped inside the system. And so I feel it's really important to bring food onto the stand. Warm drinks are another great way. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to eat. It could be candy bars, it could be meat sticks, protein bars, whatever it is, just make sure that it's calorie dense and that you're going to want to eat it. This is going to keep your metabolism revved, and as you continue to do this, if you get into a kind of a schedule or rhythm, you know, every hour, every 2 hours, I'm going to eat something. This is going to help pass the time, but it's also going to keep consistent heat within your system so that you don't fall off. Because if you lose too much body heat, now you're going to have to do something to kind of rev back up. And sometimes that's not possible. And the last thing we want to do is get driven off stand by something we can control, like trying to stay warm. Now, there's some things also that we can do, which is a beanie or some type of headwear. So I have headwear that goes from a light wool beanie to something that's got much more insulation. This actually has Gore-Tex in it, so it's going to prevent heat loss, but capturing that heat, leaving the top of your head, or even a neck gaiter, so I like to keep wind off the back of my neck. Those things are just going to keep me comfortable and focused. We're looking for one opportunity potentially in a whitetail season, and we don't want to be ill-prepared when that opportunity presents itself. The other thing is hands and feet are sometimes the primary reason that people get cold and tend to leave the field. So by using something like a hand muff, so this is something that I can put around my waist. I can put my hands in here wearing light gloves. I can have my phone in here so that my battery doesn't die from the cold. But now I can pull my hands out, I can work my phone, I can work releases, I can shoot, I can do all those things I need to do to manipulate my bow. If that's not enough, you can always certainly add chemical heat packs inside the hand muff or in the pockets of your bibs or your pants Something like that is really gonna go a long way. And then it's really important with footwear to choose a footwear that's gonna give you good insulation, but also isn't gonna let your feet sweat too much while you get to the stand. But let's be honest, when you climb up on that tree stand, a lot of times they're metal tree stand grates, and you get this cold air that circulates around your foot, and you start to get cold feet and they start to go numb, and that can be one of the single biggest things that distracts you. And so by using a closed cell foam pad like this is just a Z-Rest pad, or a thick piece of carpet remnant that you put down on the tree stand grate and you stand on top of that, that's gonna insulate your feet from what's called conductive cooling. So your warm foot is gonna give up heat to the cold metal tree stand grate. That is gonna go a long way. Just standing on that foam pad is going to make whatever footwear you have warmer and your feet warmer. So when you put all these things together, all these little tips and tricks, the food, the clothing, the accessories, it's going to work as a system to keep you warm on stand. And then with a little bit of experience, going out, trying some things, documenting the temperatures, documenting what you wore, what you ate, you're gonna be able to really dial in your system that you can go out and sit all day during the rut and really try to make the most of your whitetail season and capitalize on those few fleeting opportunities that usually tend to happen, if you're like me, on the coldest, windiest days out there in whitetail season. So as you guys are getting ready to head out in the whitetail woods, as temps drop and those bucks get on their feet, keep these tips and tricks in mind for staying warm and comfortable in the whitetail woods.